During the spring of the year 2015, Carnival Cruise was actually demoted to the second most dangerous cruise in the United States. That's right, America. Ted Cruz announced that he would be launching his 2016 presidential election campaign. Now, in spite of the fact that many people are clearly in support of Cruz's campaigning, considering the extensive campaign funds that he was able to gather just a week after he announced that he would be running, it is evident that other people see otherwise. This senator residing in Texas currently stated many things that were a little bit controversial, especially regarding the recent gun issues and the issues in Charleston. While many people are offended, especially by that, and the things that he has said pertaining to the gay rights campaign and the fact that it passed in the Supreme Court, many people are wondering if he will be successful as a politician going into a presidential career. Thus, that begs the question, is Ted Cruz a strong presidential candidate? And our answer is going to be no, for the key reason that he has an endemic inconsistency within his ideologies. And we can see this obviously in three key areas. First of all, pertaining to his economic standings. Second, in the fact that he has very little positive ties with individuals in his party, the Republicans. And finally, considering the issues that he's exhibited with Obamacare and hypocrisy in that light. Of course, pertaining to economics, this is going to be a huge talking point for many presidential candidates. However, Politico reports on June 23 of 2015 that instead of going with the regular things that he has been campaigning for the past several years, Ted Cruz actually reversed his TPA standing and went against everything he has initially campaigned for. This proves that there is a bit of inconsistency and incoherence in his policies and makes others perceive him as a weak candidate. However, Bloomberg furthers on June 23rd of 2015 that having these issues with the economy is giving him and a similar candidate, Rand Paul, a talking point in the presidential election. However, Rand Paul is going for more of a consistent and less radical sentiment, whereas Ted Cruz is looking towards more ideological, but more so radical and change-worthy, that will what he is hoping to gather more votes. However, considering the fact that consistency is key in a strong political leader, the fact that Ted Cruz seems to be wavering so much between a subject that he had formally so eloquently campaigned for proves that there is a bit of inconsistency and that he could pose a weak presidential candidate. Additionally, Ted Cruz also has an issue keeping coherence and consistency with those in his presidential party. It was reported by the Wall Street Journal on June 25th of 2015 that Ted Cruz was actually caught speaking incredibly negatively at the Heritage Foundation just that day because of things that other members of his party had done. Now the fact is, if Ted Cruz hopes to be elected as President of the United States, he needs people to rally behind him and gain support for things that he wishes to change. However, considering the fact that he's been caught trash talking and calling the acts of other political figures that endorse similar ideologies as he at least used to endorse, it is evident that these people won't be rallying behind him when he goes and tries to make changes in office. Thus, people will be seeing that he is not necessarily going to be harboring the same necessary coherence within his ideologies and within the fundamentals of his campaigning, and this is going to result in a weak campaign platform and a president who will inevitably have a sitting duck first term and unlikely to have a second term. Thus, the United States will be looking towards better candidates that have better ties with the individuals pertaining to things that they endorse, such as gay rights and things such as Obamacare and health insurance, which leads us into our third point. Ted Cruz also was sent to the hospital this spring with an endemic chronic case of hypocrisy. Of course, this visit and many others like it was funded by none other than Obamacare, the act that Ted Cruz had initially sought to repeal several times before, in fact, endorsing it because of his wife, who decided to quit her job, which supplied the health insurance for her and her husband. Now, the fact is, Ted Cruz